Tinubu only attracted $29 million to Nigeria in 19 months. The rest are those that they claimed these investors are pledging. More people have lost their businesses. More people have lost their jobs. These guys can't tell you how many jobs they have created. They can't tell you how much businesses they have attracted. But because it is the propaganda group of criminals, they believe their own lies. Easy ways of doing business. Really? Call you.
Thank you for your efforts in intellectually dissecting the cause of building a Nigeria. The cause of making things easy for Nigerians to do business, attract investments, and making ordinary people, the taxpayer, as the commander in efforts of whatever we are doing. They are. We say we just come to serve. But to all of you, I thank you. You've made my day. Once again, Happy New Year. May God Almighty bless you, bless our country, and give our nation more prosperity. A transformative journey that we embark on is all our journey, not for us. Whatever we have in today's menu and purpose is just temporary. It's for our tomorrow. It's for the future generations. Your commitment will yield that fruit, will bring the result to the babies yet unborn. Your commitment to value addition, to bring about the spirit of can do and must do, is all of us together. It's for us to build a nation. Confidence, is that what we have? Competence is what we possess. The slave masters who want us to be anything but slaves. But we say no. We are determined. We are capable. We are free. And we are resolute. And we will be there. We will take Nigeria to that promised land with you. It's not an easy job, yes. I could hear that what the Senate President mentioned as the sweetest tree that takes the high frequency and high number of stones. Yes, the truth is, I asked for this job. You all work hard to give it to me, and I must do it. I am determined to do just that. And with all of you in support, in the struggle of things, I have no fear whatsoever. It's just believing in our country, seriously grateful for our generation to pass the baton to the next generation unblemished, and to add on a flag, a banner without stain. To you, you've encouraged me. I'm committed again to do much better, work harder, embrace the intellectual inclusiveness to serve our nation, and be more courageous in everything we do, because it's only with you, working together with me, that we can bring about that necessary change, transformative change for the prosperity of our country. I promise that.
Nuisance Lele.
I'm sorry, like, it's not like those of you who were with us in 2024. It's not like, I mean, it's not that you do not know how we deal with Tinubu. Don't listen to him like you want to hear anything sensible. It's pretty much like a blah, 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 incoherent nonsense talk. Then in the midst of it, he will be dropping in some big, big words like, you know, I can't even quote him. Okay, do you make any sense out of what he said? Maybe it's just me. Did anybody make any sense out of all he said? It's like a punishment. Listening to Kolu, yeah, it's always like a punishment. But that is the man that the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, believes that is going to, they are talking about reforms. His reform is going to bring out so and so. What reform? Eh? Right. Here is what the TUC, fool. I can't remember his name, but is the Ajiru's other guy, the NLC. See, the NLC is asking Tinubu to withdraw his tax reform right now. They said his tax reform is going to impoverish them. Okay. This one, who is part of a delegation that went to help help the NNPCL to deceive Nigerians about working refinery. Now he has come back now to say Tinubu policies has made Nigerians poorer. Just this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeffrey. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to Nigerians. Welcome to the year 2025.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack with you, Mr. Sifo. So, but let's begin with where the president stopped. I'm sure you would have read his message. Loads of optimism. He's been consistent in his message. We must give him that credit. He's been bold. We must give him that credit. But Nigerians are not happy with the way things are playing out. So what do you make of this latest message from the president?
Yes, Jeffrey, it is the function of the president. You know, the president of a country is the chief salesman of a country. So it's his function to give us hope. Is the function, it's his own primary responsibility to lay out the message that he has laid out, to paint a very bright picture, to paint a picture of a lot of goodies that could come in 2025. So he has done what any president in the world could do. So it is normal for the president to paint such picture. But in also painting that kind of picture, we have to also be realistic. So generally, from listening to the statement and reading through it, over and over again, we could see that a lot of things were painted with optimism. That is what the president should put out there. But for us, looking at it, because when we are looking at statements like that, we look at how will these affect the plight of Nigerians. what are there in the statement, in the speech that could inspire Nigerians? What are there in the speech that could positively influence Nigerians? So looking at what is in the speech and what is on ground, we could see that there is no much correlation between both of them.
So do you think that the president, in your view, so I would like to take your mind back to the, what do you call it now, the media chat he had, and then this particular statement. Those are the two most recent, besides his remarks concerning the Warri refinery that came on stream. When you look at that media chat and you look at this statement, some people are saying the president is not in touch with reality. Is that what you see? Or he just has to keep this picture going that he wants to see?
Yes. So what I think is happening, because when I listen to President of Nigeria, what I try to do is also to look at the statement that is made in similar scenarios across different governments in the world, from African government to European government to American government. You could see a lot of similarities in it. Even when the people are passing through hardship, even when things are very, very difficult, in most cases, the commander-in-chief will always come and paint a picture of things that are going really well. I could say that from the media chat that we've also played, times again, we could realize that, that yes, the president was doubling down in some of the policies that he has put out there. But looking at it deeply, we all know, Jeffrey, between you and I, the Nigerians know clearly that a lot of these policies has brought about challenges, have brought about difficulties that we are facing today. Jeffrey, you say it over and over again. Our inflation rate today, you say it over and over again in your program, and all your guests and all the economic analysis, the financial analysts, they've all come to the realization that it is the policies that have been brought about by the government that has led to the challenges we have today. That today our exchange rate is about 1,600, depending on the parallel market or the NAFEM or NAFEX. It is also these policies that has also brought about the inflation that we have today. So in reality, what the president has said is trying to inspire hope. But that hope that is trying to inspire, it is not really in tandem with what we have currently in our economy. But in all reality, Jeffrey, government all over the world, that is what they always do. They come, even when things are hard, they will try to tell us that there is a better tomorrow. But what we now look at is what are those things that have been lined up? What are those parameters? Or what are the things that have been done to stimulate the economy so that we will be as optimistic as the commander-in-chief is or was, as the case may be? So in this case, what the president has lined up, we've been told, for example, that inflation is going to come down to 15% 2025. We've been told, for example, that our crude oil production is going to rise to about 2.06 million barrels per day. We've also been told as well that the balance of payment. We've been told how much we are going to borrow to finance our budget. So all these that the president has said, we have taken the brighter ones. When you now analyze them, what are the parameters that have been put in place? What are those details that have been put in place that we can see that truly it is not just talkism, that truly what the president is saying, there are actions to match them up. Looking at the budget, for example, Jeffrey, you could see in that budget, yes, the naira value is humongous. We've all said that compared to the dollar value, that of last year is even much more better. But Jeffrey, in Nigeria as a country, we don't have a business of having a budget size of $30 billion. $30 billion budget, let's assume that you pause corruption. Let's assume that nobody's...
It's all right. Because, I can leave you there to be shouting and shouting, and that is still going to come back to one thing. The lies they told you. Let me kind of remind some of us, my viewers, that meanwhile, let me say a quick thank you to this, my Templars. for your generosity. Kalakun, thank you very much. Oh. Same thing to Obikunle. Samson, thank you. And to you as well. Nwokike, Emmanuel, thank you for your generosity, all of you. Thank you. However, the lies they are telling you or making you have optimism for those who want to be lied to, because there are people who really want to believe what Tinubu and his gang, the lies they are rolling out. They did it for 8 years under Buhari, when they took Nigeria's national debt from $13.5 billion to what you now have, which is over $140 billion. And the more they destroyed your naira, the more it has become, impossible to get out of any debt, as well as come out of any poverty in their contraption. But did you know that the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, his office in this 2025 is spending 580 million naira on furnitures? Do you know that the same office of the SGF, George Akume, is also spending 1.9 billion naira on buying of 2 printers and then cars for his office? Are you aware that the Ministry of Works, led by Devulumayi, is planning to build an helipad in Lekki for Tinubu, and it's going to cost 5 billion naira? I had to do an AI estimate of how much does it cost to build an helipad. They have different kind of stages of helipad, like this series, or I don't know, stages. If you want to build a basic helipad where you can land your helicopter, they said it is between $20,000 and $60,000. In Nigerian parlance, that should be between 34 million and 34 million and maybe 50 million. That's basic. If you intend to build an advanced ground helipad, which is like an urban area, they said that one will cost you between 60,000 and 100,000, which is between 50 million and 170 million. I'm using the exchange rate of Nigeria now, okay? 170 million naira. If you're planning to build elevated helipad, like you want to build it on a building, where your helicopter can land, they said that one can cost between $150,000 and $400,000 plus. So using the exchange rate of Nigeria today, that's going to be somewhere around 200 million and maybe 600 million naira. This is the value using Nigeria exchange rates. But do you know how much Devulumayi budget to build a helipad for Tinubu? 5 billion naira. John Holt, an engineering firm in Nigeria, their total valuation as a company in Nigeria is put at 3.7 or 3.8 billion naira. Associate Press, what do you call? See, there are 2 biggest publishing firms in Nigeria, the two biggest publishing books and all, they put their entire valuation together, and it was 3.7 billion naira. But these guys want to build an helipad for 5 billion naira. When you look at when you take a look at this year 2025 budget, Tinubu and Shitty man, they are going to feed them. Jesus Christ. They're going to feed Shitty man and Tinubu in 2025 with over 3 billion naira for food. The Asshole Rock Clinic, Asshole Rock Kitchen, combine the two, they are collecting over 7 billion naira. Like every year, they have to buy new utensils. They have to buy new computers. They have to buy new, like every year. And these are the people that are telling you to have hope. The hope that they are working for you. So the Bauchi governor who seemed to threaten, I actually wanted to listen to this before I say that.
He went to Ojota and a few other places to campaign seriously. In fact, what did they not do to Jonathan? Not just placards, but they carried even effigies to show Jonathan as a dead person. They castigated his wife. They called out manners of names, all because they said they didn't want subsidy. Are you telling me that the realization just came to Tinubu today, or the day was sworn in, and then, like he met his epiphany on the road to Eagle Square? Is that how it works? Or he knew, and all he wanted to do was play politics so that they can drive Jonathan out and they can come in by way of subterfuge? So which one do you think it is? Now can we begin to talk seriously? Who is going to be telling me that, it's long overdue? Since when has it been long overdue? There was Professor Sam Aluko, who told us many years ago, wrote about it, that if they tell you devalue your money, your currency, don't do it. And Aluko went ahead to say, whoever tries to do that has committed treason.
Yeah.
And he said not just about treason, because the very first thing the government must do was to protect the lives and property of the people and safeguard them from poverty. And then you are embarking on a policy. Do you know what a policy is? I'll tell you what a policy is. A policy is not a statement you make on the day you are sworn in. A policy is a process. You go into it with all manners of seriousness. You call the experts. You debate it. You work on it. You begin to look at how that policy, if you want to call it a reform, whatever you will, is going to lead to productivity. So tell us, what was done? Where was the panel set up? Which people looked at it and said, if we go into a lot of this, in 10 years, we are going to be out. So it will now take a World Bank to tell us it will take 15 years for what the World Bank crafted, or what became a flippant declaration by one person, and you want to call it a policy.
That's what they call policy. A declaration by one person, no consultation, no kind of like afterthoughts, nothing, just pronouncements. And everybody should just go with it. Do as I say, not as I do. And they are telling you that, thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for And they send out their zombies, their vuvuzelas, to ram it down your throat, to make you believe that it is only in your own interest.
It's important for us to look at economic history before we make economic judgments. It is easy to say when we have advice coming from IMF and World Bank. It's important for us to note in 1945, Germany was faced with similar decision immediately after the First World War. Germany was advised to float a currency as well as remove subsidy, which was done. But do you know that poverty and hunger, including economic deprivation, took Germany to a point where they did away with their old currency and started a new currency called Deutschmark? And economic history is there for those who are listening to us now and watching us across the globe, including the internet. Just Google what I'm telling you. 2, another country that was also faced with so much hardship and as well as subsidy removal and currency devaluation was Japan. Japan has suffered a lot of loss in the World War. Why? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This country had to follow Germany immediately because of the economic concern. I give you the third one, which is even more recent. It was Russia. Russia in 1980, early 80s, had a leader just before Vladimir Putin. The leader felt what was important was the advice coming from this same institution, which includes World Bank and IMF. First, remove subsidy. Second,